Stoichiometry is one of the most important topics in chemistry because it tells us how different substances in a chemical reaction are related to each other quantitatively. In simple words, stoichiometry helps us answer questions like how much product will be formed, how much reactant is needed, or how much of one substance will react with another. It is basically the mathematics of chemical reactions. Before we can do any stoichiometry, we must understand what a balanced chemical equation is telling us. Consider the reaction where hydrogen reacts with nitrogen to form ammonia. This equation is not balanced because the number of atoms on both sides is not equal. After balancing, we get this. These numbers placed in front of the formulas are called coefficients. They are the foundation of stoichiometry, so understanding them is extremely important. A coefficient can be interpreted in three different ways. First, it can represent actual particles. Second, it can represent ratios. Third, it can represent moles. Although these interpretations look different, they are all describing the same chemical reaction. The only difference is the scale at which we are viewing it. Let us first think in terms of molecules. The balanced equation tells us that 3 hydrogen molecules react with 1 nitrogen molecule to produce 2 ammonia molecules. They tell us how many molecules are participating in the reaction. Now suppose we double everything. Instead of 3 hydrogen molecules, imagine 6 hydrogen molecules. Then we would need 2 nitrogen molecules and would obtain 4 ammonia molecules. If we triple everything, then 9 hydrogen molecules would react with 3 nitrogen molecules to produce 6 ammonia molecules. Notice that even though the numbers change, the ratio remains exactly the same. The reaction always follows a 3:1:2 relationship. This idea leads us to one of the most important concepts in stoichiometry called molar ratios. In the real world, chemists do not work with just a few molecules because molecules are far too small to count individually. Instead, they work with moles. A mole is simply a very large counting unit containing approximately 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 23 particles. Just as a dozen means 12 objects, a mole means an enormous collection of particles. The balanced equation can therefore be interpreted in terms of moles as well. 3 moles of hydrogen react with 1 mole of nitrogen to produce 2 moles of ammonia. This is why the coefficients in a balanced equation are often called molar ratios. They tell us how many moles of each substance react and how many moles of products are formed. These ratios remain constant no matter how large or small the quantities are. Let us now perform our first stoichiometry calculation. Suppose we have 12 moles of hydrogen and want to know how many moles of nitrogen are needed. The coefficient ratio tells us that 3 moles of hydrogen react with 1 mole of nitrogen. Therefore, we start with 12 moles of hydrogen and multiply by 1 mole of nitrogen divided by 3 moles of hydrogen. The hydrogen units cancel, and we are left with 4 moles of nitrogen. So 12 moles of hydrogen require 4 moles of nitrogen. Now let us try another example. Suppose we want to produce 5 moles of ammonia. How many moles of hydrogen are required? The balanced equation tells us that 2 moles of ammonia correspond to 3 moles of hydrogen. Therefore, we start with 5 moles of ammonia and multiply by 3 moles of hydrogen divided by 2 moles of ammonia. After canceling the ammonia units, we obtain 7.5 moles of hydrogen. At this point, you should notice a pattern. We use the coefficients from the balanced equation as a conversion factor to move from one substance to another. This step is called the mole-to-mole conversion. This is the heart of stoichiometry. However, there is one practical problem. We cannot directly count moles in a laboratory. We cannot physically count 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 23 molecules. What we can do is measure mass using a weighing scale. Therefore, we need a way to convert between mass and moles. This is where molar mass becomes important. Molar mass tells us the mass of 1 mole of a substance. For example, nitrogen gas has a molar mass of 28 grams per mole. This is because each nitrogen atom has an atomic mass of approximately 14, and there are 2 nitrogen atoms in a nitrogen molecule. Similarly, ammonia has a molar mass of 17 grams per mole. These values allow us to move between grams and moles whenever needed. So now let us solve a mass-to-mass stoichiometry problem. Suppose 56 grams of nitrogen react completely with hydrogen to form ammonia. How much ammonia will be produced in grams? The first step is to convert grams of nitrogen into moles. We start with 56 grams of nitrogen and multiply by 1 mole of nitrogen divided by 28 grams of nitrogen. This gives us 2 moles of nitrogen. Now we are ready for the mole-to-mole conversion. The balanced equation tells us that 1 mole of nitrogen produces 2 moles of ammonia. Therefore, 2 moles of nitrogen will produce 4 moles of ammonia. The final step is converting moles of ammonia into grams. Since ammonia has a molar mass of 17 grams per mole, we multiply 4 moles of ammonia by 17 grams per mole. This gives 68 grams of ammonia. Therefore, 56 grams of nitrogen produce 68 grams of ammonia. Notice how the calculation moved smoothly from mass to moles, then moles to moles, and finally moles back to mass. Now, stoichiometry is not limited only to mass and moles. Gas volumes can also be included in stoichiometry. At standard temperature and pressure, 1 mole of gas occupies 22.4 liters. This allows us to connect gas volume with moles. For example, consider the balanced chemical reaction where methane reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. The balanced equation tells us that 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 moles of oxygen to produce 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Now suppose a question says that 44.8 liters of oxygen gas are available at standard temperature and pressure, and asks us to find the volume of carbon dioxide produced. The first thing we do is look at the coefficient ratio in the balanced equation. It tells us that 2 moles of oxygen produce 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Since equal volumes of gases contain equal numbers of molecules under the same conditions, the same ratio applies to gas volumes as well. So we can say that 2 volumes of oxygen produce 1 volume of carbon dioxide. Therefore, if we start with 44.8 liters of oxygen, the volume of carbon dioxide produced will be 44.8 divided by 2. This gives 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide, and that's all about stoichiometry. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, you can support my channel by joining our community and becoming a member. So good!